Shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Latah Shem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. My name is Priest and Officer Natazaga Bar, and we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, you are not in the truth. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. A todos mis carnales. Shalom. Yahweh Shamar Elatah Shem Yahweh Shah. A todos mis carnalas. Soy la oficial de la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comienzo en la calle 125 Oeste de Harlem, Nueva York. Bajo el mando del General Yohana, nosotras no estamos afiliadas a ningún otro grupo israelita. Si no estás en el ISUPK bajo el mando del General Yohana, no estás en la verdad. You understand? We are closing out the Feast of Purim. You understand? If you got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. You understand? If you wasn't in the building yesterday, you missed some amazing food. You understand? We had fried chicken, stewed chicken. I might have messed that up. It might not be stewed chicken. It might have been brown chicken. Man, we had all type of food. Man, we had banana pudding. Man, we was two turn. Sleep coma last night. That's what I had. I was in a coma last night. You understand? If you got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. Baba Kasha. We are going to be going back over the same scriptures we went over yesterday. We're going to be going over in the book of Esther, chapter 9. We're going to be starting at verse 20. You understand? And like I said, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes. Type your questions into the chat if you have any questions. You understand? If you got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. And also, too, if anyone watching, just to let you know, man, we still got food. Still got food left over. If you want to swing by the school, grab you a plate, get this food up out of here. Get it gone. Take as much as you want. You understand? Whatever you want. It's banana pudding, broccoli casserole, fried chicken, baked chicken. You understand? It's all type of food left over. Please come get some of this food. You understand? All right, Shalom, Kiana Lewis. She tapping in all the way from Des Moines. I never pronounced that right. Des Moines. So like it. Forgive me, sis. Des Moines, Iowa, Des Moines. Most High in Christ. Shalom, sister. If you got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. Yeah, shalom, shalom. Shalom, little ones. Shalom, sis. Shalom, Mark. And we're gonna be starting in Book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20. Whenever you get ready. Shalom, sister Azariah Bath Yahawada. Shalom, checking in from South Carolina. I'm a wise rib. I'm a wise. That's a hardcore brother right there, man. Love that brother. You go ahead and start reading whenever you got it.
Esther.
Yeah, Esther chapter 9. We're going to start at verse 20. You understand? So we are closing out the Feast of Purim. You understand? Closing out the Feast of Purim. Like I said, if you in the area, you want to come grab you a plate, by all means, we still got a ton of food left over. You understand? Come get this food. Come get this child. You understand? And in the closing of Purim, we're gonna go back over the scriptures, like I said, that we went over yesterday. Talk a little more about Purim, and you understand, and how amazing of a sister Esther was. You understand how Esther, you know what I mean, even though she was a woman that was placed in a position of power, you understand, she didn't go about doing the things she did by being masculine. You understand? Like a lot of sisters today feel like they have to take on this masculine persona to get things done. When Esther, she did nothing but embrace her femininity. You understand? And the way the way she conducted herself and carried herself, it garnered her so much admiration. You understand? So much admiration, because none of the other women in the kingdom were anything like her. You understand? And that's how sisters in the UPK should strive to be. You understand? You should strive to be that, you know what I mean, something so precious that it would inspire a brother in the world to want to be a part of whatever it is that you're a part of. You understand? So
Chapter 9?
yeah, it's not in the Apocrypha.
It's in the regular.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Esther chapter 9. You understand? And through her femininity and her grace and her, her service to the Most High, you understand, she was able to sway kings. You understand? She was able to walk up in. She was able to move in positions of power and sway kings just by being a feminine woman. You understand? A graceful, moral, feminine woman. You understand? Like today's society, they beating it down. You know what I mean? Throwing it all in our daughters' faces. You understand, about being whores and thoughts all on the internet. Like you know what I mean? You look up I remember a time when female rappers, You understand? I remember I grew up at an age where a lot of female rappers were rapping about love, education, black power, you know what I mean? Things like that. You know what I mean? Like you had women like Salt and Pepper, you had Queen Latifah, like even when you fast forward to sisters like Lauryn Hill. Like Lauryn Hill was kind of the end of the road when it came to the original the original female rapper. You understand? But then you had like women like Lil Kim come out, Foxy Brown, you understand, come out and they use their sexuality, you understand, and they use their sexuality as a way to gain power. You understand? But what a lot of women don't understand is that these women that use their sexuality to gain power, a lot of those women, a lot of that is trauma. You understand? There's trauma manifesting itself because a lot of women, when they get molested as a child, you understand, it's like that trauma tells them that the only way they're gonna be loved and accepted is by being this sexual being. So they go forth in life thinking that this is how I'm supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to dress. You understand? And then whatever admiration they get from that, other women look at that and perceive that as power. You understand? When really that is trauma that she's reliving every single day when she has to do that. You understand? Like when I was in the world, I did a lot of business with the strip clubs. I knew a ton of strippers. I knew hundreds of exotic dancers. You know, that's all I like to do. They like to call themselves exotic dancers, I shot. They don't like the term stripper. You know what I mean? At least the ones I knew, they didn't like the term stripper. They like exotic dancer. You ask them what they did for a living, like, I'm a dancer. Oh, you're a stripper? No, I'm a dancer. Okay, all right, same thing. Same. You're a dancer. All right, I got it. But every single dancer that I knew, um, every single dancer that I knew, give me 1 second. Every single dancer that I knew, hold on 1 second. All right, so let's see. But yeah, so a lot of those strippers would tell me that hold on 1 second. They would tell me that at some point in their life they were molested as a child. You understand? And when I say a lot of them, I mean every single one that ever opened up to me about it. And that was about 80% of them. You understand? About 8 out of 10 of them was molested as a child. Now you got some that just get talked into it. You understand? Because some girls are just bird brains, but 80% of them were molested as a child. You understand? Because I used to always wonder, like, even though I used to go to strip clubs, I used to wonder all the time, like, what would make a woman just wake up one day and just decide to go show all her private parts for $1? Just dance naked while people threw money at you like you was a trash can. You know what I'm saying? I used to wonder, like, what would make a woman do that? You know, you know what I mean? I used to wonder about that. You know, but as I got older and I got to know a lot of them, that's what eventually you find out from them. You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if 100% of them was molested as a child. You understand? But a lot of them suffer from that trauma of being a child, being molested as a child. So that trauma, like I'm willing to bet that Cardi B was molested as a child. You understand? Because you hear the stories that Cardi B, Cardi B was dancing, setting guys up. You understand? She was doing things that could have got her life taken. You understand? And what would make you even what kind of trauma would a woman have to go through to even look at a man and think of robbing this man? You understand? Like what would even cause that? And so the thing is that how they say you got the term and that people say the grass ain't always greener on the other side, right? It's like a lot of times you'll look at a lot of times like a sister will look at someone else's life and be thinking, man, I wish I was like that. I wish I could do that. I wish I was doing that. I wish I had that amount of power or the freedom to do this. But at the same time, you don't know the trauma that person went through that made them like that. You understand? You don't really realize that sister is like that because she was destroyed as a child. You understand? And so a lot of these women that push that sexuality, you understand? I'm here to tell you right now that is not power. You understand? There's no power in that. If there was power in that, then what's that girl named Superhead? Superhead would be the president of the United States right now. If there was power in utilizing your sexuality, Superhead will be the president. You understand? What's that other girl's name? The newer one. What's that girl's name? The one that turned Muslim. Tiana Trump. I think that's her name, man. The one that was dancing for Charleston White. Is it Tiana? Is it Tiana Trump? Let me Google this.
So
Go ahead.
I'm a woman myself. I'm a sister, and I've been in the truth for a while, and I don't know her name because I've been in the truth.
Get the Most High hand.
I don't even know her name.
I don't even know the sister's name because she's been in the
I
truth.
don't know her name because I would know her name if I wasn't in the truth.
Tiana Trump, that's her name. This sister right here. You understand? She just like Corinne Steffens, Superhead. You understand? She was utilizing her sexuality. You understand? Thinking that utilizing her sexuality was going to bring her wealth and fame and power. You understand? But then she hit what they call it now. They call it now. They got a term for it. They call it the wall. When women look, they now they ready to settle down, but then they look back at the track record of the life they lived, and men like, nah, I'm good, I'm straight. You understand? And so, you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to think about that. You like Captain Cesariak did an interview just the other day. And in the interview, he had asked the question, he had said, he said his sister would sleep with 10 men and then expect the 11th man not to judge them on those 10 men. You understand? Well, imagine if you done been with 1,000 men. You done been all over the internet with it. You understand? You expecting whatever man that come next to not judge you on them 1,000 men. You understand? You got to think about that. And then they try to gaslight you and say it take a strong man to do that. You can't ask for a man to be strong enough. You can't ask a man to be stronger because of your past decisions. You understand? You can't ask for a man to be stronger because of your past decisions. You understand? But instead, what you have to do is you have to become something completely brand new. You understand? That is what you have to do. You have to become something completely brand new. You understand? And Tiana Trump, she's trying, she attempted to, only thing is she knocked on the wrong door. She went to the Nation of Islam and tried to become brand new. But the only thing she learned was she became a hoe with a hijab. You understand? That's what happens when you join the Christian church or the Nation of Islam. What she should have done, she should have came to the ISUPK and she should have called General Muhammad and she should have got counsel for all of her past trauma so that she could begin to not only heal from that past trauma, but be able to forgive herself and move forward. You understand? So, you know what I mean? So it's like utilizing her sexuality, you understand, for power. You understand? What you're doing is you're giving up whatever power that you could have had, because there's power in femininity. Like all these feminists want to talk about how they don't need a man. You understand? They want to play the role of a man. You understand? But the only thing you're doing is you giving up your power. Well, there is real power in femininity. There is power. You want to know what power is? I'm going to tell you what power is, right? This is power. See, power I'll give you an example, right? Not comparing women to leading a man, not saying that women are the leaders, but I'm just giving an example of power. When somebody threatens to kill the president, who responds? Is it the president? Does the president pick up a rifle and shoot back? Does the president do it? Sis, does the president shoot back? Somebody shoot at the president. Do the president shoot back? No. But there is people. But what happens is the president is shielded, protected, and those who wield the gun shoot back. That's power. Power means you don't have to fight your own battles. You understand? So a woman's real power is not in being alone, living alone, dying alone, fighting all her own battles. That's not power. Real femininity, real power and femininity is in submitting to a man, and that submission inspiring him to fight every battle that would ever come into your life. You understand? Every threat that ever come against your life, that man put his life on the line for it. That is real power. That is power and femininity. Now that's just one example. You understand? But that's an example of power. Like even when you look at the chessboard, like the chessboard, a lot of people say, "Oh, the queen does this and all that." I'm not using the names to describe it, but a lot of people think that the queen is the most powerful piece, but the queen's not the most powerful piece. The king is, because the queen dies to protect the king. You can sacrifice the queen. You see what I'm saying? The queen can be sacrificed on behalf of preserving that king. But in a relationship, that's not that dynamic isn't there. You understand? In a relationship, a husband would die to protect his wife. You understand? He put his life on the line for that. You understand? So the thing is that femininity inspires that. You understand? Inspires for a man to do that. Like the more feminine a woman is, the greater sacrifice a man will make for that woman. You understand? And so that femininity ended up being the salvation of the entire nation of Israel. Because there was a devil who was seeking to have all of us executed. We wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be alive today had it not been for Esther's femininity. You understand? Go ahead and read up.
Esther 9.
Start at verse 20. Esther 9, start at verse 20.
Esther 9, verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the King Asherus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor. The Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of
Hamadatha,
the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them.
You see that? You see that right there? You understand? This devil was a real threat to the nation of Israel. You understand? This devil was a real threat to the nation of Israel. Now imagine if instead of Esther, it was Cardi B. We'd have been wiped out. You understand? Because the king wouldn't have wanted it. He wouldn't even have considered nothing she had to say. And that's what a lot of sisters don't understand. Like a real man of power is not going to consider what a whore has to say. You understand? He's not going to consider what you have to say. You have no bearings in the decisions that he will make in his position of power. You understand? And first of all, he wouldn't even have you there. First of all, a king would not want a woman that done been with. I mean, imagine that. You the king. Would you want the whore from the east? You know what I mean? Land up in your bed after she done laid with the blacksmith. You understand? And the man that clean they clean the horseshoes off your horses. You done slept with the mechanic. You understand? You done slept with the swordsmith, the blacksmith, the fisherman. You understand? You done slept with the duke, the judge. You know what I mean? You done been around town. I got a whole dossier on you. You understand? Like you work down at the brothel. You know what I'm saying? Right down by the courthouse. You're not gonna end up with no king. You understand? You can take that out your mind. You understand? You gonna end, you know what I mean? And Esther, she ended up in that position because of the way Mordecai brought her up. You understand? And guess what Esther did? She followed and listened to Mordecai. Mordecai was her head. You understand? Mordecai was her head. Every woman needs a head. You understand? Every woman needs a head. You understand? If you think you don't, listen, you're going to find out real fast how cruel of a world this is. You're going to find out real fast. You understand? Cardi B going to find out real fast. You understand? She going to find out real quick. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you something. At one point in time, I had a little bit of respect for Cardi B. When she was married to Offset, I had some respect for Cardi B. You know what I mean? She was one of my favorite female rappers because of that. Now, just a thought now. You know what I'm saying? You just a thought. You know what thought mean? Thought mean that hoe over there. You know what I'm saying? You was a thought now. You know what I'm saying? You are nothing close to a virtuous woman no more. I don't care how much money you make. A hoe is still a hoe. You know what I'm saying? You just a rich hoe. You know what I'm saying? In this day and age, that's what happened. But here's the thing. Here's what a lot of people don't understand about all this money and wealth that you're accumulating in America about being a hoe. If the economy was to collapse tomorrow, if America files bankruptcy tomorrow, guess how much your dollar is worth? Zero. Your dollar is worth zero. Meaning, and guess what it means? If the dollar is worth zero and you got $20 million in your bank account, how much is that $20 million worth? Zero. You understand? So now you know what you're gonna have to do? Now you're gonna have to rely on brotherhood. You're gonna have to rely on brotherhood and sisterhood. A woman is gonna have to rely on her man. Now, what's gonna happen when you didn't let the devil trick you into being a rich hoe? You know what I'm saying? Now the dollar ain't worth nothing, so all your riches ain't buying you nothing. You understand? And because you a hoe, ain't no man out here willing to go out here and risk getting hunted down by Esau in the woods to track you down a deer. Ain't no man gonna do that for no hoe. You understand? It ain't about to fly like that. You a hoe. You was a hoe in Esau kingdom, and you a hoe during the collapse of his kingdom. You still a hoe. You don't just magically change into not a hoe because the world done went bad. You know what I'm saying? Because civil war done broke out. What man gonna die for you? What power do you have then? You don't have none. You understand? Because you listen to Satan. You listen to that serpent in the Garden of Eden. You understand? Thinking that you was going to play that position of God. You understand? Then when the Lord returned to that garden, you understand? And you covered up, then you're going to surely die in that day. You understand? When the Lord make that call, he ain't going to answer. When them orders come down, you ain't going to receive them. You understand? Or you might hear him be like, I ain't going with them crazy UPK niggas. I'm not listening to them. Okay, no sweat. No sweat. You understand? Read on.
Verse 25.
Matter of fact, read that verse again.
Esther 9:24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them.
Now listen, I want you to pay attention to the scripture. You understand? Pay attention to this scripture here. Because if you think our oppressor is going to smile in your face and be honest with you, you got another thing coming. Because this scripture here says what? Says he devised against the Jews. Hold on, matter of fact, he had devised against the Jews to destroy them. You understand? Read on.
And had cast her, that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them.
Go ahead.
But when Esther came before the king,
but when who?
Esther came before the king.
But when Cardi B.
Esther.
You know what I'm saying? But when Tiana Trump.
Esther.
But when Superhead.
Esther.
See, a lot of y'all thinking that what you know how girls be thinking that they Cookie got the power? Nah, Cookie ain't had the power this day. You understand? Esther didn't sway the king because she was a throat demon. You understand? Excuse my language. You understand? She didn't sway the king because of her sexual prowess. She swayed the king because of her femininity. You understand? Read on.
But Esther came before the king and commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows.
You understand? Give that sister a hand, man. You understand? Give that sister a hand. You understand? Because through the power of her femininity, she was given a position to where she could overturn what this devil was doing. Now imagine that. Imagine that. You understand? And you know, I commend my rib all the time because at her slavery, you understand, she's trying to navigate the politics of her slavery. You understand? Now she don't know much about business politics, but she don't have to know because I'm a master at it. You understand? And she just trusts me and do whatever I tell her to do, she do it. You understand? And I gotta commend her on it because her femininity has given her a position of power at her slavery. Just in her femininity, just in her submission to her husband and her following of instruction. You understand, has put her in a position of power. You know what I mean? And now, now she's working on like a special project at one of the biggest plant in the upstate. The BMW plant. She working on a special project with some person. I can't think of the guy. He's a consultant straight from Germany. You understand? She over there she at work eating German chocolate from Germany. I'm sitting here like, where my piece at? He ain't bring your man a piece. You ain't think I want some German chocolate? You know what I mean? But she deserve it though. You know what I mean? So she eating chocolate with the CEOs. You understand? Meanwhile, when she was at the same position as everybody else, she was constantly getting hated on by the other sisters because she embraced her femininity while the other sisters was embracing their sexuality and masculinity. You understand? Thinking that that's what was going to get them ahead. You understand? But my rib, she embraced her femininity and she ended up rising so far above them that now a lot of their jobs is in her hand right now. You understand? And so my rib, she's such a sister. She's so sisterly. She don't even consider, you know what I mean? Like taking revenge on none of the people that was down at her when she was coming up. She don't even consider doing that. That's how peaceful of a woman my rib is. She ain't even came out her mouth. It's been in my brain. You know what I'm saying? It's been in my mind. Like you think I ain't making my list, checking it twice. You know what I'm saying? I remember them days that I had to counsel my rib and tell her ignore them. They don't have the superpower that you have. She be like, what's that? I'm like, a husband in the UPK. You understand? You got a superpower that they do not have, and you're gonna see. Don't worry. You understand? I have to remind her sometimes. I see 10 steps ahead. You know what I mean? Oftentimes she'll be thinking right now, but I'm always seeing 10 steps ahead. So she may not understand the order I give her today, but sometimes 6 months down the line, she'll understand it. Like I can try to explain it to her all I want, but she got to go through it to really understand it. You know what I mean? And and I commend her because she reminds me a lot of Esther. You know what I'm saying? And so I hate to be talking about my personal life. You know what I mean? But but it's very similar to Esther's situation. You know what I'm saying? And then when she gained that power through her femininity, she was able to be a defense for Israel and save hundreds of thousands of lives of her brothers and sisters. And not only that, but flip the script on an enemy that seek to destroy all of us. You understand? And imagine had she not done those things. You understand? Had she not been that, had she been more like Ice Spice and less like Esther, had she been more like Lil Kim, you understand? Had she been more like Tiana Trump, or been more like man, I've been in the truth, so I forgot all the old hoes names. Like who some of them old hoes? I don't even remember. I don't remember none of the old hoes. Cause that's what happens when you play the game and being a hoe. Eventually, you just forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? And then you mess around and you meet a guy thinking you found you a husband. And he be like, "Oh, you such and such. Oh, you was in the porno movie with such and such. Yeah. That was me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let me call you back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's hard to let down that reputation when you stain yourself that bad. You understand? It's hard to live that down. You understand? It's hard to. You know what I mean? But that true power is not going to come from you being masculine. And because what a lot of sisters don't understand is that feminism pushes you to be the opposite of Esther. You understand? That's what feminism gets you to do. Feminism pushes you to be the opposite of Esther. You understand? And then look at today. Just look at today, right? Let's look at some statistics. I love looking up statistics. Let's look up some statistics. Statistics. Hold on. How many black women? Hold on. Percentage. How do you spell percentage? I can't spell. Percentage. All right. Percentage of black women married. Damn. In 1970, okay, here's a percentage for you. They confusing me with all these numbers, but I'm gonna try my best to break them down. Today, only 26% of black women are currently married. You might as well say 1 out of every 4 is married. Now, that don't count for the percentage of them that are happily married. You understand? Because a lot of them end in divorce. I remember looking up just, I think it was like 80% of marriages end in divorce within the first year. You understand? And then half of the ones, then 10% of those marriages end within the first 10 years. So only 10% of marriages even last, according to American Christian theology, the American way of thinking. Only 10% of these marriages last. However, in the black community, numbers were a lot different. In the black community, 27% of black women were unmarried in the 1970s. That means 3 out of every 4 black women, were married in the 1970s. 3 out of every 4 were married. Now the number is reversed. 1 out of every 4 is married. You understand? And now the number is reversed. I see why they did the numbers, how they did them. You understand? Hold on, wait. Okay, yeah. So 26% of black women today are currently married. In 1970, the numbers were reversed. 27% were never married. So that means 73% were married. So 3/4 of us were married. Now, the percentage of women today who are never married has gone from 27% to 47%. That means half of black women will never get married. Half of y'all never are ever going to get married. Never. It's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because of feminism. Too busy being a hoe, being a thought. You slutting it out all the way to your 20s and your 30s, then you want to settle down. But by then, guess what? You done been a slut so long, all you know is sluts. Your whole life is slutting. All your friends are sluts. All the guys that's even interested in you is guys that only want sluts. You done box yourself in. You understand? You done passed over the one that wanted to marry you. You slutted on him. You know what I mean? You wanted to be a slut. When the one that wanted to marry you, guess what? You broke his heart. And guess what? He gonna go the rest of his life remembering you broke his heart. You understand? And I don't care what nobody say. Listen, I grew up in school and I done seen how savage a lot of sisters was in high school. You understand? And it wasn't us. We wasn't the ones breaking hearts. It was not us. We was trying to protect our hearts because Eve was going wild in high school, man. See, we fall in love. See, and here's the thing about a man's love, right? This coming from a man, right? You know what I mean? We're gonna skim through these scriptures here in a second, but coming from a man, right? If a man falls in love with a woman at 15 years old, and that woman falls in love with him at 15 years old, that man, as long as she honor him, that man will love that woman till he die. Am I lying outside? Wow. That man, because that's how we're wired. We are wired like that. But what happens is a lot of men, that thing that's in us to be honorable men oftentimes gets destroyed because of self-preservation, because of what feminism turned our women into. You understand? And I know because I, as a safety mechanism, I was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was like I got to get you before you get me type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And then the second you fall in love, stick around long enough, that thing gonna bite you. You're gonna get bit in the end. That's how it was growing up. You understand? It's like you couldn't show no love growing up. Couldn't fall in love. Because if you did, you was inevitably gonna get dogged on. You understand? That's how it was. And it was like everybody was just dogging on everybody. You understand? So, but these numbers right here, listen, you can't sit here and tell me that the rate we going right now, that we don't need to slam them brakes. You can't tell me that we don't need to slam on the brakes. We need to slam on the brakes, hit the e-brake, slam on the brake. We need to slam on the brake. We don't need to slow down. We need to hit the brakes. We don't need to pump the brakes. We need to slam on that. Let everything in the car fly all over the dashboard. We need to stop. We need to come to a screeching halt. Because at the rate we going, eventually that number is going to be 1%. And guess what that 1% is going to be? In the Isupk. That's what that 1% going to be. You understand? Because whoredom is who we. It's to the point now, Ashawa, it's like, man, it's like if a sister ain't in the UPK, she's a whore. It's like that for real. Like I'm telling you, it's dangerous out here. And it is life-threatening dealing with a lot of these sisters out here. You understand? I'm being straight up. It is life-threatening. And mark my word, if you meet a sister out here in this world, take. I say follow the 1 year rule still. Because if you require a sister in the school required to do it, hey, require that sister in the world to do it. I promise you it'll save you. Boy, it'll save you a lifetime of hurt. I promise you that. It'll save you a lifetime of child support. I promise you that. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 26. Wherefore they call these days Purim, after the name of Purim. Therefore, for all the words of this letter and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them and upon their seed and upon all such as join themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days according to their writings and according to their anointed time every year. and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed. Then Esther, the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai, the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm the second letter of Purim. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the king of Ashur, with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim and their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoyed them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed the matter of fasting and their cry. And the decree Esther confirmed these matter of Purim, and it was written in the book.
You understand? And with that, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hanna. You understand? We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not in the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hanna, you suspect. You understand? And I'll look at you sideways. You understand? With the side eye, with the bombastic side eye. You know what I'm saying? Getting spooky out here, man. Hey, you got it. Hey, at this point, man, it should be clear as a bell, man. If you ISUPK is the home of the truth, has always been the home of the truth. And if you just if first of all, man, at this point, if you join a fake Israelite group, man, then you just one of them. You just part of the community, y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what community I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the Israelite community either. You understand? At this point, man, well, everything that's been coming out all these years, you understand? You mad at the UP. Listen, you mad at the UPK for telling you we not affiliated with no Israelite group. Listen, we ain't affiliated with that. You understand? We are not affiliated with that over there. You understand? We ain't affiliated with that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no peg boys over here. You understand? Ain't no Peggy the pig over this way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We married with children, no peg. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know what I mean? Shalom.